Now, in sports news, the brand new European Football Super League that was announced on Sunday has crumbled. All 6 English clubs have abandoned plans to join the breakaway league. Only a handful of Spanish and Italian clubs remain involved.
Chelsea fans hearing that their club had backed out of the Super League. Many would agree with the "We saved football" chant. The stunning backlash to the Super League had worked to reverse an attempted radical shift in the European power structure. Inside the stadium, players for Brighton, Chelsea's opponents on Tuesday night, showed what they thought of Chelsea's earlier Super League ambitions. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson celebrated the withdrawals, posting on Twitter that the decision to pull out is absolutely the right one. He added his hope that the other founding members of the Super League would follow. And they did, egged on by fans old and young, tied to the tradition of the beautiful game. All 6 of the powerful English clubs had pulled out of the Super League 48 hours after it had been announced. The death knell may have come Monday evening in Spain when Real Madrid's chairman, also the chairman of the Super League, Florentino Perez, said this.
What we want to do is save football so that it can live peacefully for at least the next 20 years, without stress and without having to say 200 million euros have been lost. The situation is very dramatic.
We are the future of this game, this younger audience, you know, and people like my dad and people that come before me have done a great job to get it in position that it is. But Perez, this absolute dinosaur, thinks that he can speak on my behalf.
Super League clubs learning a lesson that it's never a good look to have fans, coaches, and players rooting against club bosses and owners.
Well, joining me for the latest on the story is Jonathan Crane from DW Sports. Jonathan, this Super League was only around for like 72 hours, and now it's looking like it's going to collapse completely. What happened so quickly?
Incredible, really, isn't it, how quickly it's fallen apart? I think you mentioned it yourself, the Super League not looking so super anymore. It really was a bit of a domino effect. Once one of the clubs pulled out, the other English clubs followed quite quickly. We saw the pictures of the Chelsea fans there protesting before their game against Brighton. I don't think we can underestimate the impact the fans have had. They've really been the catalyst for all of this. Some of those Chelsea fans celebrating like they won a title. They were so happy to have this overturned. Interestingly, there's not been so much contrition from the clubs announcing their withdrawals, although Liverpool's owner John Henry has now posted a video statement apologising to the fans, apologising to coach Jurgen Klopp, and, of course, the players, who'd also expressed their disapproval of this Super League on social media. The Super League itself has released a statement, even though 6 clubs do remain there, effectively putting it on hold now, saying they're going to reconsider how to reshape the league.
The reconsidering, well, the whole thing sounds a bit half-baked. I mean, do you really go out front with something, a project this big, and then just let it go poof within a few days? What went wrong?
Well, a lot of people will probably look at this and think, how could they have messed up so badly? How could they have gone ahead with this without canvassing the opinion of the fans, of the players? I guess you kind of got money in your eyes and you don't really see much else, because the backlash was huge, not just from fans and players, but sports officials, even governments, especially the British government. Prime Minister Boris Johnson was saying they would do everything to stop this from happening. In the end, the government didn't need to get involved. Now, some talk that this was just a big negotiating tactic, a bid to get more power for these clubs. But if it was, I can't really see how it's worked, because UEFA passed the reforms of its Champions League without changing anything from what the clubs had initially agreed to. So it really looks like their position and their power has been heavily diminished here, with UEFA kind of bringing them back into line.
So we've got diminished power. What about reputations? Could this end up damaging the reputations of the clubs who were involved?
Without a doubt. I mean, you know, clearly there is going to be a lot of damage, especially in the eyes of the fans. There's been a U-turn, but it's going to take a lot to win back trust. UEFA at the moment, though, interestingly, is being quite conciliatory. Alexander Chefrin, the president, has released a statement saying that the clubs made a big mistake, but the important thing now is that we move on, rebuild the unity the game enjoyed, before this and move forward together. But there are calls for more repercussions. Ed Woodward, the vice chairman of Manchester United, who was instrumental in a lot of this, has announced he'll resign at the end of the season. Pressure perhaps on others to follow, even maybe owners to sell up, and also calls for UEFA to really come down hard and punish these clubs for what many see was just about pure and simple greed.
Fascinating story. Jonathan Crane from DW Sports, thanks.
You're welcome.